Hey, it's your boy Bonte3 for Successful Convicts, and today I'm gonna let you in on the best prison YouTube channels on YouTube. Stick around. Hey, welcome everybody. Again, it's your boy Bonte3 for Successful Convicts. And if this is your first time tuning in, first of all, thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you. But go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and at the end, in the middle, right now, I don't care, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. So I'm going to let you in on the best prison YouTube channels. Now, when I say the prison YouTube channels, it seems like everybody want to know about prison. What it's like in there, what is it like, did you see anything, like, did you see somebody getting stabbed, do the guards treat you mean, this, that, and the other? Everybody want to know. So what has happened, it's been an emergence of prison-related YouTube channels, and it's a lot of ex-felons, ex-convicts, ex-inmates that are giving you their perspectives on prison. And I'm about to tell you the best prison YouTube channels on YouTube. Now, the first one, of course, is Successful Convicts. Of course, I got to put my own channel in there because I like to think that I'm the best. Am I the best? Am I the only one you should watch? Of course not, because I watch other channels. But I got to put myself best. At the top of the list. And one of the best, And again, let me say this too before I get started. I'm not putting these in any particular order. I'm not saying if I say this one first, that is better than the one I said next. I'm not saying that the one I said last is the best and the first one is the one that just barely made it. These are the ones that your boy Bonte83 look at personally and I check out. And, and a lot of them inspired me because when I started my channel, I just started with an idea and then I just happened to be doing some research and I'm like, oh, it's other people that's doing this too. Which brings me to my first channel that I'm going to recommend. And I wrote them down too. The first channel is Fresh Out, Life Out of the Penitentiary. And that's with your boy Big Hurt. This channel, I like this channel because he does a lot of interviews and he gives you that perspective. Also, he was a federal inmate, which makes a difference because federal prison and state prison is different. Yeah, I know the most common thought is prison is prison. If you go to jail, and that's a lot of that. See, that for one, that's a big misconception too, because jail and prison are two different things. Jail is more of a temporary setting and prison is more of a long-term setting. Even if you go to jail for, anywhere from a day to years. Like it's people, I remember a buddy of mine, he was in the county jail for 2.5 years fighting the case. And then he wound up beating the case and going home. But he still spent 2.5 years in the county jail to fight that case. And like I've said in previous videos, certain county jails can hold you up to a certain amount of time. I know in Illinois, I think you can be in the county. I know in one particular county, you can be in there for up to 10 years. Because, sometimes when you're fighting the case, it takes a while. You know what I'm saying? The case don't just, boom. Okay, you got the case. Tomorrow you go for your evidentiary hearing. And then the next day, you're going to go to trial and whatever. No, it don't work like that. But anyway, Big Hurt was in a federal prison. So a lot of the things and a lot of the stories that he tells himself, because he also interviews a lot of people from different state prisons, different federal prison, different cities, states, you know what I'm saying? And get a lot of information from him. So that's one channel that I would check out. He also has another channel, Big Hurt 916, and I'll be putting the links in the description. he has Big Herc 916, which he gives more on that one. He gives more of his personal opinion on views and stuff like that. But that's definitely one of the channels that when I first started out and I was watching and researching, his channel came up big. And, you know, from the research I've been looking, man, he's been doing this from what I've seen, don't correct me, don't quote me on this, but 6 years. So he's been at it for 6 years. The next channel I'm gonna bring up, now this channel, I've interacted with Big Herc too. You know, he hits you back on the comments and stuff like that. I've interacted with this guy on his channel many a times, you know, and he's personally inboxed me, you know what I'm saying, through the Instagram, you know, some inspiring words. This is a real inspirational type of guy. And, you know, and knowing what I know from being inside prison, this is not like one of those soft, you know, in prison, you know, you figure like this, you either hard or you soft, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no in between, but it's not like that. You got people from all walks of life, and, you know, it's just like on the streets. On the street, everybody is not into crime. And then again, even all crimes aren't the same. Like, you got crimes like, you know, murder, rape, and all the rough shit, you know, armed robbery. And then you got the little, you know, the quiet, you know, I'm going to get you, but not get you. You know, you got mail fraud, you got bank fraud, you got, you know, bank robbers, you know, you got all types. Crime is crime, but still, you got different types of inmates and convicts and felons and whatever you want to call people that been on the inside. This guy here, from the looks of him, he's rough around the edges. He's definitely not the type of guy that the average person would just go up to and approach. But big misconception, because this is a cool guy and he gives it to you straight, no chaser, 100. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've come to find, too, that in prison, it's a lot of good dudes. You know, you know, the circumstances might be rough, and, you know, people got to do what they got to do. But this is a good dude, and this prison channel is Big Lance Off the Yard. This dude gives inspirational, like, speeches every morning. I mean, I watch him like they coffee. You know what I'm saying? He be saying some real stuff, man. You know, and it's just like, in life deals you a deck of cards. You know what I mean? You might have a 10 hand, you know, if you play spades. You might have a lot of spades, or you might just have one spade, and it ain't nothing but the two of spades. But regardless, you got to play with the hand you dealt. And in life, man, life deals you that deck of cards. You got to play your hand. And, man, this dude, he puts a lot of nice thoughts on your brain. You know what I mean? And for him to been where he been and to be as mellow as he is, man, I like this dude. And I definitely recommend his channel, Big Lance Off the Yard. And I'm going to put, like I said, I'm going to put the links to these channels and where you can get up with these people in the description. The next channel, this is just on my list. Lockdown 23-1. This dude, he does a lot of interviews. I never interacted with him besides, you know, making a couple comments on the pages and stuff like that. And maybe one day he can get me on there for an interview. And likewise, I can get him for an interview on my channel. But he does a lot of interviews and a lot of information. And I believe he's out of Florida, somewhere down there. But Lockdown 23-1 is a good channel. You know, I watch his interviews and stuff like that because at the same time, you know, these are people in my niche, you know, and I'm watching what they doing and I'm looking at, you know, they view counts and stuff like that. And I'm just saying really what the people want and see what I can add to the pool, the pot. You know what I mean? I want to add my spiel. And Lockdown 23-1 definitely has a lot to offer and a lot that I can learn from, and so hopes that I can get up to his level. Okay, now this is another channel. Now this is my homeboy, and he from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. So a lot of the stuff he talk about is relatable. And it's not, this one is a little bit different. It's not so much the prison channel, but this guy, he's been down before, and he's basically just doing an informational, channel where he gives out information, and, he talks about different topics that's in the know. He even tells you he got some good stories. I think this dude is funny, man. He be having me cracking up laughing all the time. But I definitely would say check him out. Subscribe to his channel, get his views up, and help him out too. Because this YouTube thing is therapeutic. When we get on here and we tell our stories and we putting these things together, man, this stuff is work. Not only is it work, but it helps us get it out. Sometimes you never know who you helping. And, all these people who I've mentioned and the people I've yet to mention yet, they giving you a part of them. And, we all connected in some strange way to each other. And these stories can help you know what, other people go through. A lot of times, these hard luck stories, if you don't get nothing else from it, just take the fact that you're blessed to not be in that situation. Because a lot of times people look at their situation and think it's so hard, but they don't look, man, it could be way harder. And you could be in a situation that you might not even know how you got out of it. But listen to these stories and these people tell you what they was up under and how they came from up under it. It give you a whole new outlook on life. So check out the Gstring show, live from Chirac. That was his channel. Now this is another channel. I actually seen an interview she did with Big Herc on the Fresh Out Life After the Penitentiary show on his channel. And I seen her. She was in the feds, a woman. And I hit her up. I think I hit her up on Instagram. And again, like, I'm not going to say we do it all, all the time, but I actually got our phone number. We text back and forth, check on each other and stuff like that. And cool lady. She coming up. And, if you watch her channel, you can see the progression from when she first came home. I mean, man, it's rough out there, man. She out of L.A. and coming out of L.A., coming out of a lot of these places, man, it's even so hard when you coming out of prison to get housing. So imagine that. You get out and not only are you struggling to get a job and then readjusting to society, but you getting played so shady down to the part where your housing is even in question. Like you go to get an apartment and you can't even get an apartment because they don't rent to felons. And that's what's going on out here. A lot of people don't even know about that part of the game. Yeah, it's hard to even get a place to stay. So imagine being homeless by default. Because I know a lot of us, we see homeless people, you see people with the cardboard signs, you see people outside the store begging for change. A lot of those people, some of them have mental illness where they not in the mental capacity to help themselves. But some people are out there scamming. But just think, some people might be out there not because they can't get a job, not because they lazy or they mentally ill, but could you imagine just being out there just because you can't get a place to stay because you was incarcerated before? That's rough. So check out her channel. She got Life After the Feds. She also got not a podcast, but she got a reality show she working on. And, check those both out. Now, this last one I'm going to mention, and like I said, these ain't no, I don't have them in any type of order, like, this is the best one, then this one's they all good to me. So I didn't really put them in no order besides the order that I wrote them down in. Yuri Anton. Now, this one is, this is kind of like personal for me because I personally know her, it's crazy. We never met in person, but I've wrote her back when she was incarcerated. And, she got a hell of a story. Like, Lockdown 23 and 1 did a story on her too, and you can go there and check that out. long story short, she was incarcerated. She was out of Miami. Incarcerated. She's from another country. Paperwork never was done right when she was little. She caught the case. After doing time, after, you're illegal, she got deported back to her country. Tried to come back illegally. Got busted. Caught a Fed case for doing that. Did like 3 years Fed time and got deported again. So, through this whole journey, I've known her through this whole journey from the time she was in the state joint till she got deported. She tried to sneak back, and it's just been one hell of a journey. And then, like, I'm not gonna lie, me and her fell out, because I'm kind of like, I could be a butthole sometime. So, both of us stubborn, so we kind of like cut each other off. But to see her, she got a book on Amazon. It's kind of like, I think it was number 58 on the bestsellers Amazon list. And she got a YouTube channel, Yuri Anton. And she doing big things now, and I'm kind of proud of her, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not kind of proud. I am proud of her because I used to always tell her, man, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it just seemed like she wasn't listening. And again, like I said, with these channels, people be in certain situations that the average person couldn't even handle. Like, they'll look at these situations like, man, I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. And I've seen her, and this is a situation that I've been in some tough situations, but man, I couldn't imagine being sent from this country to another country, Nicaragua. I remember when Nicaragua, this was some years back, they had that big earthquake. She was there. I mean, talking to her, hearing the fear in her voice and stuff like that. Man, I know her struggle, man. And it's a lot of people out here who's struggling like that. And man, just to see she in a good place now, she doing good things. I'm supporting her, you know what I mean? And I want y'all to support her too. Go check out her channel. Good story. She got some great stories, just like the rest of the channels. But check her out, subscribe to her channel as well. Hit up. She hit you back up. And I didn't want to take away from none of the other channels, because like I said, it's a lot of them out there now. And I wrote some of them down. These are some that I've looked at a couple stories because it's so much, between going to work, got a newborn, he a month old now, working, I got a 10-year-old, I got other kids, I got things to do, trying to get some sleep because I work the night shift, and doing my own channel and then checking out other channels. It's not a whole lot of time to just sit there and just watch channel after channel after channel, So these are just some of the channels that when I do have time, I do watch. And then other ones, I'm going to give you these. I just like to note them as honorable mentions. And these are just other prison channels that's out there that you can check out as well. You got GP Penitentiary Life with Wes Watson. And Wes Watson is, he's talked about, I've heard his name on, and that's what really made me check his channel out because I've heard his name on a lot of channels. He got interviews with Big Hurt, Big Lance Off the Yard mention him, Lockdown 23-1 mention him. I think he got some interviews with him as well, But then you got Brian Bruton, Crazy Prison Stories. Then you got OG Badger's Heavy Hitters, which I seen OG Badger, got up on him. He used to do a lot of work with Big Hurt in the beginning. So I seen his interviews with Big Hurt, and that's what put me on to him. Then you got the After Prison Show. You got William Ainsworth. You got Pino. You got Real Talk Recovery, and I got up on her because she did an interview on Big Lance Off the Yard, and that's how I got up on her channel. And you got Tales from the Pen, which is a story. He tell you a lot of stories from the penitentiary and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope this was helpful, and as always, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to like this video as well as my other videos. And I want you to leave me a comment, put me up on some other channels that you might know about, or, put me up on something else that you want me to check out, and I'll gladly check it out. Or even if you want to do an interview with me, you know, you want to interview me or you want me to interview you, man, leave me a comment and we can make it happen, you know, because, man, I'm down for it. You know, I'm trying to be one of the biggest channels on YouTube when it comes to this, you know what I'm saying, prison talk. And like I said, here, Successful Convicts, we all about the convicts that's successful, you know, and definitely all the ones I just named are successful. Because let me tell you something. I talked to a lot of people mentioning the fact about doing interviews for my channel. And some people really think that they not successful. Like I had one girl tell me, oh, yeah, I'll do an interview with you, but not yet because I'm not successful yet. And I told her, well, first of all, you're at home. You're not in prison. So therefore, you're successful because you're successful in not going back to prison. And that's what it's all about. You don't got to be the leader of a Fortune 500 company. You don't got to have a business where you're making $1 million a year or even $1,000 a year. If you out here and you're not in prison, you're successful. So, again, this is your boy Bonte83 for Successful Convicts. Thanks for watching the video. And also, what I'm going to start offering is, if you would like to help out with this channel, I'm going to leave my CashApp and my PayPal where you can donate to the channel, and it'll go to a worthy cause. It'll help me with the channel, bringing you more content, maybe, you know, getting different people here for interviews and whatnot. So I'm going to leave all that in the links in the description. And thanks for watching. Keep checking me out.